A lot of people have been asking me about what type of machetes are best for selection. A lot of my videos are machete videos, and people started asking me what's best for them, and I can't tell you. I seriously cannot tell you. The only thing I can say is you need to pick something that's properly heat treated, made of good material, something that's made out of really, really hard material, because if you're planning to use this for cutting demos or just going out in the back and just doing some backyard cutting, you're going to want something that's durable, because the last thing you need is the handle to explode because it's made of PVC or some inferior plastic and or riveted down with tin rivets, which I have seen, or having a blade shatter on you. Last thing you need, because they can pop back out of the target and actually take out an eye. You can get stabbed, lose fingers, whatnot. You always want to make sure of those two things before you buy any machete. You have to make sure it's something like high impact plastic like this one. This one's a very high impact plastic. This can take a lot of damage, and then also that the blade is properly heat treated. So if you can flex it and it comes back true, you know you have a good machete. Because a lot of machetes I've even seen them made out of tin or aluminum even. So if you go and buy them on eBay, which I don't recommend, do not buy knives on eBay. That's the stupidest thing you can ever do. Last but not least, you always want to make sure you get something that's right for your size. You don't want to try and be like the guys on Bleach or some psycho anime like that with a 6-foot long machete, because they do make them that long. They do get that long. They use them for cutting down palm trees and banana trees and whatnot. But you can't. It's totally ridiculous to wield. There's no point in that besides the gag factor. The head on those things usually is massive. It's usually about that big, and it seriously stands probably about as tall as I'm sitting right now. It all depends on personal preference. I like a short machete with a long grip. That's why I extended the grip with some paracord. As you can see, this is really put on there well. I know how to string them, so it won't move. And this is actually for leverage, so I have a counterweight back here, so I can actually have a good swing on it. I also like to tether mine, just because if I'm using the bottom handle, I want to have a good grip on it. If you're cutting at a tree that has a lot of sap, or if it's wet outside or something, last thing you need is this thing go flying. You don't want to nail the neighbor's kid in the head with a machete. It's going to be a real hard one to explain. They have everything from panga machetes of Africa to the bolo machetes of Indonesia and the famous kukris of India. Those ones only ones that are usually made by those are Cold Steel, which is the brand I'm going to recommend for everything, because you can get Latin machetes like this one that are hand forged, hammer forged, properly heat treated out of truck spring steel. They're really well made knives and machetes, but they're just real hard to come by, and they rust very easily. Like this one, if I don't oil it after I get done cutting and I put it back in this leather scabbard, this thing will rust. It's gotten pitted before, and you can actually see on the back and on the sides there's pits all over it, because I've gone and done that, where I've gone cutting, and then stuck it back in there and forgotten about it, and then come back and there'd be big huge pits in it from the rust. It's just like taking care of a katana, because they're made pretty much the same way. There's different benefits and losses when you come to getting machetes. Machetes tend to be a lot faster, but they are a lot more flexible, like I showed you earlier. When you strike something, if you hit a hard target and you hit it wrong, this thing can bounce back, or it can slap you. When it comes to defense, these things are a lot better because they're a lot wider. It's just like I said, they're very flexible, so if you block a strike, this thing has the ability to bend and then come back and slice your hand clean open. Unlike a sword, where you basically always have your hands on the handle, except for some blocks. This one you can actually grip the blade and do some blocks with it, or you can use it to assist with cutting, only if you know how to use it. Don't go and do stupid stuff and try and put it up on YouTube to be funny, because the last thing you need is to be missing your pinky or your index finger. Okay. Cold Steel makes the best as of right now for value and quality. They've pretty much broke even when it comes to the highest quality they can get for the price. They range from $20 all the way to and up, because they're making new ones right now. Like right now they have the Katana Machete, which is like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It actually has a nice foot-long handle on it, and the blade sits probably about 1.5 to 2 feet, and this thing is durable. I've seen the destruction tests on it. Some of my friends on YouTube have done the destructive tests on it, and they still can't break the damn thing. The only guy I've ever seen break it is a guy with the axe, and you can imagine how he took it to the machete. But when it comes right down to it, like I said, you have to go through and just find the one that you like. There are some knife shops that'll let you hold them, try them out, get a good little swing with them. Not cut, of course, because then the knife and the machete are worthless to you or to them to sell. So don't go to the shop and then expect them to let you hack through a wooden log or something like that. But just get a feel for it. You know, take a couple light swings, see how it is with your blocks. How the weight feels in your hand, if it's balanced properly for you. Some people like a heavy-headed machete, like the Pongas. Some people like a light thin blade, like the bolos. Some people like that hook that the kukris have. It all depends. It's all personal preference. But like I said, the two things you have to watch out for is proper blade, proper handle. If you get a handle that sounds hollow, like this one sounds pretty solid. If you get a handle that sounds hollow, more than likely it's injected PVC. Not mold injected, just injected. And it has screws on it, you don't want it. You want something that has rivets, full rivets. If something has screws in it, it's going to fall apart. Just like when you buy a sword. Don't go and buy a $50 sword and thinking that you can go and conquer the world like Gandalf or something, because those are usually rat tail swords that are made really poorly. And I've even seen rat tail machetes that sell for $5 at a flea market. Do not use those for cutting. Hang them on the wall, use them for cosplay, what the hell ever. Do not use them to cut. Last thing I need is to see some jackass on the news getting stuck with a machete. It's the last thing I need. Other than that, just have fun looking for the one that fits you best. Look at some videos on YouTube. I have some of my own Latin machetes and kukris. There's a lot of other people that go around doing the destructive tests for swords, machetes, chucks, whatnot. You just have to find what suits you best. Good luck.